Land Rover launches the latest generation of Range Rover. Perhaps that's not surprising. As has been the case in each of the previous 4 iterations, the new styling is less breakthrough, and more of an evolution that caution can even say it resembles the clay model for the previous generation Range Rover. However, compared to that vehicle, the new one appears to have fewer gaps, bumps, and sharp corners for a more fluid design overall. Although Rover uses slightly outdated, as if hewn from a block of material, marketing language, the phrase applies here. The new Range Rover manages the contradictions that it's hard to look totally futuristic but still looks like a Range Rover, all that while accomplishing an unwritten task, and it's harder to look more paced than the previous one. So, bravo there. There's a bit of mass behind the rear wheels nicely, but that's a problem. The long wheelbase model does a better job of hiding it, simply because of the longer midsection, relatively speaking. The taillights are the boldest and most superior of designs. A thin vertical crescent that doesn't wrap around the side of the car. Luxury minimalist interior inside. The name of the game is simple luxury. Without the billions of outward-facing gadgets, you're relying on things like upholstered carpeting, speakers in the headrests, and haptic feedback from the 13-inch curved infotainment screen for comfort instead of sterility. Additionally, there are new upscale fabric options in the seats to be had instead of leather, including textiles combining ultra fabrics and Kvadrat wool blends. The design is neat, and for the most part, devoid of extraneous knobs and controls. However, for a technologically advanced car, this means those traditional knobs and switches are moved into a touch-sensitive user interface. Stay tuned to find out how well everything works. Land Rover says its engineers have been trying to reduce the cognitive load on drivers. Range Rover powertrains. Hybrids and EVs on the road. Under the hood, the 523 horsepower, 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 replaces the supercharged 5.0-liter V8 in the previous Range Rover. In some cases, this means an increase of 5 horsepower, in another, a 34 horsepower loss. Buyers can still opt for a mild hybrid setup featuring a turbocharged inline-6. That powertrain saw a 40 horsepower jump from 355 to 395. The platform will also support future powertrain architectures, including a 434 horsepower mild hybrid by 2023 versus the previous 395, which supports electric drive for 62 miles and a battery electric version. In 2024, off-road capability. Despite a deeper push into sleek design lines and interior luxury, the new Range Rover can't be any less capable than the previous model. The fully independent air suspension features dual-valve dampers, and the new SUV sports a Range Rover First 5-link rear suspension which is said to isolate the cabin better than ever. The active electronic roll control system delivers over 1,000 pound-feet of torque to keep body movement under control. In 2022, the standard all-wheel steering system debuted, offering a 7-degree steering angle at the rear axle to allow only 36 feet of turning circle and more confidence in lane changes. Meanwhile, a sea of electronic acronyms is translating that capability off the beaten path. The drivetrain continuously varies torque from front to rear as needed, as well as across the rear axle. Also, there's an active locking rear differential for when the going gets tough. As before, Land Rover's Terrain Response 2 system offers several driving modes specifically designed to optimize traction in a variety of conditions.